Hey everybody, it's Stephen Michael. Stephen Michael here for Chapter 18 of Tales from the CRIP. It's been a very interesting week. It's been a rough week. A lot of sleeping.
Yeah.
A lot of. What do you think that's all about?
I just felt bad this week. It was just a bad week.
What made it a bad week?
I just felt bad. That was awful.
How are you feeling?
Just wore out. Don't do this to me.
Well, no, but if you want to get it off your chest, here's a good place. This could help someone else not be so scared, or...
If I had a D-rack, I'd want to get that off my chest.
He means D's boobs.
Hi, honey.
Dee stopped by on this week, and we had a nice visit with her. So much love to her, and she got to meet our.
She cracked me up.
She got to meet her crazy friends, Susie Jennings and Candy Knox and Kelly Whitney. So if you're scarred for life, blame them. But
well, it lets her know who we are.
Well,
because if they're not like we are, then nobody is. They are of the same cloth.
Yeah. Just a mess in the head. However, we do have a viewer question from Miss Nancy Toomis. Wants to know, have either of you been badly discriminated against in your lives? You go first.
Well, you know what? Honestly, it made me, when you would answer this, it made me think, when I was in hair school, I worked at this delicatessen sandwich shop that was right next to the apartment complex I lived in, which was very sad. But the maintenance men that worked there called the delicatessen that I worked at and said they didn't want the fag making their sandwiches. And you know what? I was so insulted, but I think about my time with doing hair and everything. They would have been happy to have this fag do anything for them. Oh my God. I doubt if they were able to get air pumped into them.
But your manager actually made sure that you were not the one making his sandwiches.
Yeah, he was an old man, and he didn't, he was the owner,
and clearly believed in customer service.
Yeah.
And
he did, and you know what? I really wasn't insulted by it.
Yeah.
I don't know, cause I knew how he felt, and I knew how, and to him it was just a customer that was a pain in the ass, and he just wanted to get them in and out.
Yeah.
And I could tell that, so that was nice.
Yeah, I think for me was when we were booking a vacation, ended up going to Jamaica in the long run, but I had contacted a holiday spot, which I guess I can't say their names, but I'll just say it rhymes with handles. And upon booking, we were, I was asked if we were an alternative couple. I asked what that meant. He said basically, you know what that means. And so yeah, they weren't. They don't support same-sex vacation spots or alternative lifestyles. So we couldn't go to that one place that we were looking at. So once again, rhymes with handles. Not going to say anything more about that.
Oh, that's right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I thought, who the hell?
Pigs.
Pigs. And you know what? In that whole resort, there's not one gay person. Really?
Well, you know what? We showed them. We went to Jamaica. And we got to go on their new beach.
We did. We covered that.
Mixed with the straits and everything. And it was a lovely time.
Lovely time. Sunset Inn Resort in Montego Bay. Gonna give them a shout out. However, what are your plans for the week coming up? Anything exciting?
You know what? I want to have a shitload more fun than I had this past week. Yeah, it was just a eggy one. But this week is going to definitely be better.
Let me ask you this: Do you feel a bad week coming on, or does this all of a sudden happen?
What happens is you find yourself so deep in it, And when you finally realize there's no getting out,
Hmm.
it's so weird.
Do you think it's good to feel? Would you call it depression or just call it? What would you call it?
Oh. Living on the ugly edge. Oh, I can't imagine. I never experienced it before. It doesn't compare to other things. I wish I could say, well, it was like this, it's not like anything I've ever experienced before. Nothing even from the hateful people in my upbringing, which we all know that is, which I will
He
say.
wasn't hateful this week, which kind of was a red flag to begin with. He wasn't bitter Betty, but
No.
what would you say to someone in your situation who goes through these weeks? Any words of encouragement or advice for them?
You know what? I would say to anybody that's first diagnosed and then they put them aside and say, well, you'll have progressive MS. I say have as much fun as you can while you're walking. Do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a tough week here. Oh, Mary.
But they should.
They should. Really, as long as you can limp it out, go ahead and do it. But we're going to get Steve a little hammered here. I want to thank you all for following this series.
I don't drink.
Well, you should, maybe, at this point.
It doesn't sit with me.
Well, maybe we'll get you an 8-ball of Coke and a bottle of vodka, and we'll see what happens.
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, wouldn't you imagine?
Oh, well, that
Oh,
would be,
my
can you
goodness.
imagine? What am I, 20? Yeah, give me a couple lines of Coke. Line them up. Could you imagine?
Oh, yeah. Actually,
Oh.
that would be a show for
To
Tales.
be young
To be
again.
young again, yeah. That's highly overrated, though.
You know what? I can't say they were necessarily bad times.
No, we had a lot of fun.
Oh,
That's
they
absolutely
were
true.
dreamy.
Yeah,
I was hotter than a Horde of Hardware convention.
you were certainly that.
I was.
Certainly that.
You know what? If I had to deal with this, I'm glad I had that.
You would have been a bigger whore, though, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he saved it for far too long.
Oh yeah.
Dry
I would have put out.
your eyes, Mabel.
I would have put out like a Horde of Hardware convention.
I know, honey. Well, maybe we can whore you out. Cripple porn is really hot right now. There's a big market for it.
Did that finally go?
Anyways, from Stephen and Michael for a chapter.
Finally, I can be a star.
You can be a star, absolutely, for Stephen and Michael.
It's Steve Silverman, you heard that?
Camera.
I'm available for porn.
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah, so I
Battery
think
change. So
that Steve Silverman should start the Crippled Porn Chronicles.
that's a very good point. That's a very good point.
Steve, I smell a hit, or I smell something really bad.
That could be you smelling real
It
bad.
could be.
Anyways, like I said, thank you all for tuning in. I want to go ahead and give a thanks to all of our Reiki people, Julie, Sue, and Mick. I want to thank you all for keep watching this show. It's gotten really interesting lately. So, any piece of wisdom for everybody else who ate in the
No.
bed?
Get up and enjoy things a little bit.
Do it.
You know what? I swear to God, you're going to have a moment in the day, and that whole time is going to be ruined by your attitude that you could so change so easily. And you'll find you'll have this pleasant day that you were never going to have.
She's a teary dearie this evening. Anywho, say your love to everybody.
I loved everybody.
And thanks again for your support. Feel free to keep posting your questions here on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube. Any questions you have for Steve or I during whatever thing you're going through. So, Big waves and big love to all of you. Happy Saturday.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.